There is a huge problem with art right now, and it's how people will judge a piece of media by its fans rather than its content. A great example would be Pickle Rick from Rick and Morty, and that the whole purpose of the episode is men will do anything except for go to therapy. A lot of people tell me that they hate this show and it's because of the fandom, and they're really missing out. So let's go over the episode of Pickle Rick. In the episode, Rick's daughter Beth and his grandkids come into the garage where Rick has his workshop, and they find that he's turned himself into a pickle. His daughter Beth brings up that they're supposed to be going to therapy as a family, and Rick says that he totally forgot about it and he turned himself into a pickle as an experiment. Beth looks up and sees that he has taped a syringe above him with scissors on a timer, clearly to turn him back into a human after they head out for therapy, so she cuts it down, takes the syringe with her, and she and the kids go to therapy without Rick. And although Rick's not admitting it, he turned himself into a pickle so he didn't have to go to therapy, even though he desperately needs to go to therapy. And throughout the episode, we see all the things he has to go through just to avoid going to therapy. He falls out into the sun and almost passes away in the sun. Then a freak rainstorm comes and washes him into a sewer where he has to eat a cockroach and learn to control its body with his tongue. Then he makes a exoskeleton out of the cockroach. Then he finds a bunch of rat carcasses that he then makes into a suit so that he can fight an army of rats that are trying to eat him in the sewer. And after escaping the sewer through a toilet, he finds himself locked down inside of a facility where an army of mercenaries are attempting to take his life. Rick then has to run away from all of these soldiers. He then breaks out a mercenary that's a prisoner, taking over the entire building, taking out all of the soldiers, and almost losing his life in the process, just to end up at the therapy session asking Beth for the syringe that will turn him back into a human so that he doesn't pass away from the wounds that he sustained. But before they give him the syringe, the therapist asks him, "Why didn't you come to therapy?" And Rick talks about how he's intelligent, he's a scientist. If there's something that he doesn't like, he changes it. Not realizing that he has many problems with himself that he recognizes throughout the seasons, to which he won't change because he won't do things like therapy. And he tells her he doesn't think that therapy actually helps. It just helps people with their anxiety, but it doesn't actually change anything. Which, how would he know if he's never gone to therapy? And that he's created this whole idea in his head of what therapy is, and that he would rather do anything but go to it. And that's because he's scared of it. He wasn't scared of cooking in the sun. He wasn't scared of having to fight cockroaches and rats and mercenaries. But he's scared of sitting across from a therapist and having to actually analyze why he feels the way he does and why he does the things he does. Even as the smartest man in the universe, he's still scared of his emotions. To which she tells him that he and the rest of his family use intelligence to justify their sickness. Because Rick, like a lot of men, he doesn't want to change himself, he wants to change the world around him. He thinks if he's uncomfortable, it's the fault of